Welcome to Moose Plays, everyone. I'm the Liquor Moose, and today we will be going over my Week 7 battle for the second season of the UPA D-League. This week we will be going up against the man, the myth, the legend himself, the Theflyingbird. And yeah, this is a pretty important game for me because unfortunately, due to, I want to say basically some misplays on my part, I lost the past 2 weeks. I think they could have been easily winnable if I just had my head on my shoulders for 2 turns, but either way, we're 3-3, and Bird is actually 6-0 right now, so I'm sure he wants to stay perfect just to have like the bragging rights of being the only perfect team right now. But yeah, so this is pretty important for me because currently I think I'm in 6th spot, and top 6 makes playoffs, so I really need to start winning to get ahead of that margin. So with that in mind, if you want to know about the specific team that I am bringing, I did upload a team builder. I will link it in the description below. As well, I will also link Bird stuff in the description below, so go check him out. But yeah, so for just a quick overview of my team, we do have a specially defensive Skarmory. We have a physically defensive Babiri Berry, Diancie. We have a physically defensive Assault Vest, Celebi, we have Choice Scarf Hydreigon, we have Flame Orb Quick Feet Jolteon, and we have a max HP Bulk Up Megaane. Looking at what Bird brought to the table, he brought the Thundurus T, the Zygarde, the Talonflame, the Alolan Persian, the Barbaracle, and the Bronzong, and there's no Mega Diancie! That is so huge! Also, no Keldeo. That means my Celebi is definitely a lot less pressured, and that is fantastic. It can solely focus on trying to check the Zygarde defensively, so that is really great. However, no Diancie means that like specially defensive Skarmory doesn't really hold a purpose, I'm not gonna lie, other than maybe to spike stack him, because as we can see, his defoggers are the Talonflame and the Thundurus T. 2 Pokemon that don't really want to run defog, and as well I have no fear of him bouncing back the spikes with his Magic Bounce, so I'm perfectly fine with that. Other than that, though, there's not too many surprises. Persian is like, Bronzong is also kind of meh. Barbaracle, I thought had a decent matchup, but which is the whole reason why I'm running Flame Orb Jolteon. And then, yeah, Thundurus, Zygarde, Talonflame, all huge threats, so... yeah, looking at the lead matchup, honestly, the lead I expect him to lead with is his Bronzong, and because I don't see a Chansey here, Bronzong is definitely the thing that my Mega Gallade is going to be able to set up on the easiest, so I do decide to just lead with my Mega Gallade, and as we see here, Bird does decide to lead with his Bronzong. I go straight for the bulk up, as theoretically if he is defensive he shouldn't do too much to me with his Gyro Balls. That would be the best thing he has, but that Gyro Ball does a lot of damage, and that shows that he is actually max attack Bronzong. That was a very good good prep on Bird's part, in my opinion. That dealt a lot of damage, just straight up. I think that was a max roll too on that specific Gyro Ball. But yeah, anyways, seeing how much damage the Gyro Ball does, I want to stay as healthy as possible. So I do just fire off the Drain Punch, try to gauge what kind of set this Bronzong is. This does reveal that he is just max HP, not too much invested. I think here, right, here is where I get a little bit trickier. Like, I don't know how you want to say it, but either way, I'm actually going to fire off a bulk up here. For a couple of reasons. For one, if I click bulk up here, then his Gyro Ball is doing less than half of what I'm at right now, barring a crit, which would be really unfortunate. Other than that, if he hard switches into Talonflame to try to pressure me out, then I have a very good chance of living the following Brave Bird, as that would be the only thing he could have to kill me. Actually, I think it's like the top 3 rolls could kill me from there. If he's not boosting item, if he's boosting item, it's a guaranteed kill, especially if he's choice banned. Yeah, either way, I'm gonna fire off the bulk up here, as he does in fact switch directly into his Talonflame. So, me being relatively confident here, I'm not too sure whether he would be boosting item. Like I said in the team builder, I think the set that really goes in on my team is Swords Dance, Acrobatics, Natural Gifts with whatever berry he wants, but probably Babiri Berry, and then Fire Move, whether he be mixed with Fire Blast or just fully physical with Flare Blitz. I think that's the set that makes most sense against me, but either way, I do feel the need, like, I don't think he is boosting item here just by the way he kind of played it. I don't know why he would risk it like that, but either way, I feel like he's not boosting items, so I feel like I have a decently good chance to live the roll. I'm just going to click the Rock Tomb button as it guaranteed kills from here, even if he has Charty Berry, and like we do see here, he does in fact not get the roll, and he is not boosting item, and we just straight up kill one of the biggest threats to my team, which is amazing. And now Bird sends in his Alolan Persian. I'm obviously pretty scared out because even a foul play can kill from here. I go straight into my Diancie, as since that was the check to my check to Talonflame, it's definitely a lot more expendable now. But what I can do here is switch into the Diancie, take the foul play, and I can just set up my Stealth Rocks, as he is pretty much threatened out by the potential Moonblast, as he does go right back into the Bronzong, which is a pretty expected play as I set up my Stealth Rocks. And here I believe I go into my Mega Gallade, kind of just to sack it off, as like I didn't feel like it was doing much this turn, but Bird decides to set up his own rocks. So now I basically get a bit of free damage off of this when I click my Drain Punch. Unfortunately though, it's not enough for me to live a second Gyro Ball, as my Gallade goes down while getting just a bit more damage on this Bronzong. And here is the perfect opportunity for me to send in my Hydreigon and just start trying to spam Dark Pulses. That looks to be a relatively good win condition right about now, as we do see here Dark Pulse, even to like that damaged it a lot. Like that, I mean, it could have been max HP. The rule says it is in that favor, but yeah, that Dark Pulse did a lot of damage. And yeah, so like even like with rocks and just repeatedly clicking Dark Pulses, I'm gonna wear his team down quite significantly, I think. So yeah, either way, I don't want to get this thing knocked off, as since I'm locked into Dark Pulse, obviously another one won't kill. I go back into my Diancie in case he does want to click Knockoff again. Or sorry, I guess yeah, if he does want to click Knockoff to try to get off my Scarf, as he sees, it takes off my Berry. Really the only way that matters is if he is Hidden Power Steel, which he could be, considering he could have Technician, but I'm more leaning towards Fur Coat, but either way, it still could be a thing. So yeah, I am actually going to predict him to switch into my Bronzong like he did last time, and I'm going to hard switch into my Skarmory to start setting up spikes, as that will put a lot more pressure on the rest of his team. So I do exactly that, as I see he does switch into the Bronzong. If he's max attack, he can't do a ridiculous amount to me since Gyro Ball is resisted, and I don't really think he would have anything else since Bronzong cannot get spikes. So yeah, as we see here, I do just click the spikes button and get another layer of hazards up, and this Zygarde here, I have a feeling he might set up, but either way, I can't really mess around with the Zygarde 50. I have to go straight into my check to this, which is my Celebi, as we see I will do here after the leftovers goes through. And yeah, Bird actually does not decide to set up, he decides to launch 1,000 arrows, and even though that does 18% only, I can tell that is absolutely a choice banded Zygarde right there. So there's no way he stays in, so it was a pretty free U-turn on my part, and here I go into my Jolteon, mostly to get the Flame Orb up already, because I'm kind of talking as the game just kind of flies by. So the way he brought I guess not the way he brought in the Thundurus, but the way I'm looking at what his team's composition looks like. I know the Zygarde is banded, and the Barbaracle is most likely Shell Smash with a utility heavy Persian and then a max HP, max attack Bronzong, which means in theory that this oh my god, this Thundurus T is looking to be the Scarfer of the match. So not only, like, obviously with the burn I give away that I'm not Volt Absorb, so he could click Thunderbolt here, but I mean, what's the point really? It's not going to do too much. I mostly just click Toxic here, as it was kind of the middle ground play. I don't really expect him to switch directly into his Bronzong, and then at the same time, if he does switch into his Zygarde, oh my god, if he switches into his Zygarde, HP Ice can't kill from there, but getting the Zygarde on a timer is always good. So I'm actually going to fire off the Toxic, but as we see here, Bird does stay in, which I guess doesn't necessarily confirm that he is Scarf, as he goes for the HP Ground, as that's obviously the only thing that could be. So thinking that, under the assumption that he is still Scarf, and he's locked into HP Ground, I am just going to go into my Hydreigon here, as that gives me a quote-unquote free switch in to spam Dark Pulse, so I'm just going to do that right here. But like we see here, Bird is actually not Scarfed, and he goes for the U-turn and gets a nice chunk on my Hydreigon, but more importantly gets a free switch into his Alolan Persian. Here I just do go into my Diancie, as again, most expendable member, but as we see here, Bird makes a good double and goes directly into his Bronzong from here. And here is where I'm going to make a little bit of a weird play, I would say. So even though my Berry is knocked off, if I am max physically defensive, I can actually still take two gyro balls from here. So there are two cases where this there are two cases of what's going to happen. Either I should be faster theoretically, so I can Diamond Storm and get chip on this, and then I can still get another Diamond Storm off basically. And if I get the defense boost, then I actually live more gyro balls. On the other hand, if he kind of sees that I'm max physically defensive, which by now I guess he should have seen based on the damage that his Alolan Persian has done to me. Oh my god. If he so since he knows that I'm physically defensive, he could very well just switch directly into his Zygarde here. And if that's the case, Moonblast should be the play. Realistically, Moonblast probably would have been no drawback, as with leftovers, neither of my attacks would have 2-hit KO. But at the same time, if he does switch into his Zygarde here, he would get a bunch of damage off thanks to the Moonblast. However, if I click Diamond Storm as he switches into Zygarde and I get the +2 defense boost, then I guarantee live 1000 arrows with my, even if he's banded, basically. So honestly, counting on kind of the +2 defense raise, I do decide to click the Diamond Storm button here, as Bird does hard switch into his Zygarde. So maybe I should have clicked Moonblast here. I guess we'll see once I click the Diamond Storm button, and it does not too much, but again, like you see here, I do not get the defense boost. And this damage, and did I get something else? Did I hit? No, I didn't. So this damage does reveal that he is like basically just straight offensive, like not much bulk invested. But either way, unfortunate that I didn't get the defense boost. It was kind of a 50-50. I guess realistically Moonblast would have been a much safer play, as Bronzong was the only thing that resisted it either way. But I kind of relied on it, and unfortunately it didn't work out. Moonblast here, obviously if I did click Moonblast, it wouldn't have killed this Zygarde from here, but it would have gotten it to a point where it couldn't switch out again, basically because it dies to rocks. So either way, unfortunately I don't get the defense boost. So basically, I do plan to let this go down. I still click the Moonblast button here because obviously Diancie is the most expendable member of my team. But in case Bird decides to get too fancy or whatever, I do decide just to click the Moonblast button. But we see here that Bird just attacks what's in front of him and goes for the 1000 arrows, and I am just going to go straight into my Celebi, which is my check to this. I believe here, yes, I do just fire off the HP Ice just to try to get a good amount of chip damage on this Zygarde, but as we see here, Bird does decide to scout for that, as unfortunately with my Celebi set, I am walled by Bronzong. I kind of knew that going in, but I still decided to go with it anyways. I do U-turn out here into my Skarmory, as there isn't really much that I think this, oh my god, what is this thing? Bronzong can do to me, since, just based on the spread and what possible moves it could have, I'm seeing. Right now, I believe it's only revealed Gyro Ball and Stealth Rock, and that should be it. But either way, I do fire off the Brave Bird here, as again, he can't do too much to me, and with leftovers, I guess on both sides, my Brave Bird is a 3-hit KO, and I basically still survive. However, as I click the Brave Bird button, geez, Bird actually decides to switch into his Zygarde, so I get a really nice chunk of damage on this Zygarde with my Brave Bird. And yeah, and I go to the calc, and Choice Band 1000 Arrows cannot knock me out from here, so I just decide to stay in, let my Skarmory take damage, and kill the Zygarde, which is really good. Yeah, like Skarmory was another pretty expendable member at this point, because there was no Mega Diancie. So as we see here, Abe is the Persian this year, I guess. Bird decides to go into his Aberforth, the Alolan Persian, and it actually pops his Iapapa Berry based on the hazards damage it took. So seeing that he can't kill me, I'm actually going to attempt to fire off a Roost here, try to get up to a decent amount of health to see if I can 1v1 this Persian. But Bird knows what he's doing, and he packs Taunt on it. It was a really nice play on Bird's part, so I can only applaud him for that. But either way, since I can't heal up, I'm just going to click Brave Bird until this thing goes down, basically. And yeah, just try to get as much damage on this Alolan Persian as possible. And this damage actually shows that he could be max physically defensive, which is a little surprising. But either way, I go into once my Skarmory goes down, I go out into my Hydreigon, and this is where a tricky point in the battle comes in. So unfortunately, Dark Pulse, if he is max HP, Dark Pulse is not a guaranteed kill from here. So because of that, I really don't like Hydreigon. Very clearly is looking like a very good win condition with spamming Dark Pulse. So because of this, I do need to, and because assuming max HP, Dark Pulse does not guarantee knockout from here. So unfortunately, I do have to click Draco Meteor to try to knock this out. Even if he does switch in his Bronzong, which we know is only max HP, not specially defensive, then Draco is actually a guaranteed kill after the hazards. So Draco is fairly free here, so I do just go for it, and unfortunately we miss. And yeah, in the game we're playing right now, that is not looking very good, as he does knock off my Choice Scarf, which is really bad, because then I just have a really bad brain fart, and I go, okay, I'll just click Superpower, it's a guaranteed kill. Forgetting that a low inversion automatically like naturally outspeeds Hydreigon, and this is not going good for me. Yeah, that was not one of my brighter moments, not gonna lie. But to be fair, with Hydreigon without its Choice Scarf, I can't outspeed the Thunderous, so it kind of looks like it was a little less expendable, or it was a little more expendable, I guess I should say. So here, basically what I have to do is something risky. I end up going into my Jolteon here, as this is pretty much like my only way out, I'm not gonna lie. So obviously either of my electric attacks will kill from here. The problem being, Thunderous gets Volt Absorb, so because of this, I am forced to click the HP Ice button, because I cannot let this Thunderous gain more HP. It would basically be the hazards damage that he would restore back, but I can't let this Thunderous get a free switch in, otherwise I can just win the game from here. So basically, I have to click the HP Ice button. And with that means that either I kill the incoming Thunderous, or it is actually a damage roll to kill this Alolan Persian from here, should he stay in. So basically, I have to make the big boy play if I want to have a shot in this game. And I'm forced to click the HP Ice button. It's my only way to potentially win. As we see here, Abe does switch out into, or not Abe, god damn it, Bird switches out into his Thunderous, and that's actually the Assault Vest Thunderous. He lived the HP Ice. If he wasn't Assault Vest, he guaranteed died, but it doesn't matter because he dies to the Toxic that I tacked onto him earlier in the game. And now this is a really big turn too, because I'm assuming why he went into this was because he didn't know that I had Volt Switch, because if he's watched my previous battles, Bird would know that I've run Baton Pass in the past, just so that way I don't get blocked by like potential like electric immunities. So because of this, I'm not sure if he anticipated Volt Switch, but either way, I have to keep Jolteon healthy, because if I stay in one more turn from Burn, then I die to Rock Sentry, and I need this alive so that way Shell Smash Barbaracle doesn't just straight up win. So because of this, I'm actually going to click the Volt Switch button and kill this Persian, and I switch directly into my Celebi, and hopefully, I'm not sure what the roll would be on Barbaracle's X Scissor, but either way, he goes into his Bronzong. I can 1v1 this with Giga Drains, as his Gyro Balls don't do a ridiculous amount to me since I am physically defensive and don't have speed investment. Unfortunately, Giga Drain is a 3-hit KO, but that just gives me a little bit more opportunity to get some health back. And as we do see here, Bird does just keep firing off the Gyro Ball button. Excuse me. And yeah, Giga Drain luckily does kill from here, and this is great, because then I can either, it depends, if his Barbaracle doesn't have speed from here, then I kill with Giga Drain here, but if not, I guarantee outspeed and kill with my Jolteon. As we do see here, X Scissor, he is fast with his Barbaracle, but it doesn't matter because Jolteon, living on 1 HP from entering hazards, guarantees outspeed this and kills with Thunderbolt. And ladies and gentlemen, the Toronto Razor Leafs have ended their 2-game losing streak, and we are back in the win column with a 1-0 victory against the New South Wailmers, coached by the Flying Bird. GG to Bird. He played an amazing game. Like, I mean, if you've been around my channel for long enough, you know that I always say I love games like this, like extremely close games, whether I'm on the winning or losing end. Obviously, I would prefer to win, but either way, with these games, like these are the games I always remember the most. These are just amazing games when they happen. So yeah, again, GG to Bird. I really hope we end up playing in the finals, but yeah, or not in the final, in the playoffs, basically, assuming I can make it. Yeah, actually, Bird messaged me after the game and said that the Draco miss was actually in favor of me, because while I would kill the Persian, he would send in Barbarical and attempt to set up, and then once he would kill the Hydreigon, then that would force me to go into Jolteon, and then he would switch into his Thundurus to get a free switch into there. So it could be, honestly, the way I was planning to play around the Barbarical was just basically letting him basically sacking something to Barbarical to revenge with Jolteon. I'm not really sure, and then at that point, if I'm just going to sack it, I would just attack what's in front of me, and if that's the case, then who knows how much damage would be on Barbarical. So maybe HPIs could have killed it. Who knows? Like, I can't really say that it was a definite deal breaker based on I can't really say it was a definite deal breaker for me to win. But in Bird's eyes, it was hitting Draco was actually in his preference. So I mean, that's fine. I'm not going to knock it either way. It's just a note that I thought I would bring up in the video because we talked afterwards. But either way, again, great game to Bird, and I hope we do play again in the playoffs. And yeah, we are hoping to ride out our, hopefully start another win streak. Next week we will be going up against Justin, aka Derp, who coaches the Los Angeles Kingdras. And yeah, honestly, you guys can say goodbye to my voice, because this upcoming week is Frosh Week at school, and if you've never been to a Frosh Week, it's basically 5 straight days of just yelling. So when you guys see me, on my channel the next time, I am gonna be raspy as fuck. So yeah, keep your eyes out on the keep your eyes out on the channel next week for when the team builder for week 8 of UPA goes live. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.